To our conversation now with Senator Pauline Hanson, who joins us now from Canberra, the One Nation leader. Senator Hanson, well, don't you know how to get a headline or two? Lovely to see you here, Senator. I've got to ask you, when did you decide this is what you wanted to do?
Actually, Paul, it was in the making months ago. I actually thought about and I thought, you know, it really needs to be done to press a point. And so today was the day to actually do it. There
was one question more than anything else that came to me when people heard that we were going to have a chat this afternoon. They want to know, where did the burqa come from?
Actually, you had to buy it on eBay. one of my staff bought it on eBay, and one size fits all. And I tell you what, I had trouble getting it to fit.
All right, now let's talk about the issue around this. Was there any nervousness today as you were putting this together? Did you feel that this was, you know, a step too far? It's a good idea. It's a funny idea to some, when you're talking about it on a whiteboard. But when you're actually putting it on in the office this afternoon, was there any last-minute hesitation about doing this?
Of course it was, Paul. This was a big decision. It wasn't about there I go making news headlines. I don't have to do that. I don't need to do that. The whole thing is, it was all about putting across my point. 1, national security. 2, people don't want it. Majority of Australians don't want burqas. 3, the whole fact is that people are treated totally different when they wear burqas to people who wear balaclavas and motorcycle helmets and all the rest of it. We have to be logical about this. Listen to what the Australian people want. There's over, what, 70% of Libs actually do believe that, you know, it's to get rid of the burqa. They don't believe in it. 44% of the Labor Party, and you've got even the Greens that don't believe in the burqa. So a lot of Australians don't want it. And I think the security issue here, Paul, we are spending $16 million on, you know, security around the Parliament House. We're building fences. We're changing the security when you actually come into Parliament House. And yet, when I donned that burqa in my office, we did tell a security guard I was going to be wearing this. I walked down the halls of Parliament, down the stairs, and at the base, I met 2 security guards. And then going into the chamber, I got to tell you this. Senator Wilson from the Greens, he saw me. He didn't know it was me. He saw a woman or a person in a burqa. And then he comes up and he's, hello, and he puts out his hand, and I shook his hand. He's never done that to me as Pauline Hanson, the senator in the Parliament, that I'm his colleague in that Senate. And actually, then I went into the chamber. Not at any time did anyone say, can you prove who you are? Lift up the burqa and let's see if it's Pauline Hanson. And you should have seen the attendant. When I walked through the door, it's like he was gobsmacked, the look on his face, and he's questioning, and he was told it was me. He didn't check. No one checked. And I went and sat in my seat.
So what about the reaction that happens? Obviously, there's firstly Stephen Parry sitting as the President of the Senate makes a comment. There's some audible stuff happening around you. And then there's the quote that George Brandis is, copping high fives for on Twitter this evening. I'll play that and then I want to get your immediate reaction. What was going through your head when George Brandis said this?
That it is vital for their intelligence and law enforcement work that they work cooperatively with the Muslim community, and to ridicule that community, to drive it into a corner, to mock its religious garments is an appalling thing to do, and I would ask you to reflect on what you have done.
Order. So he said that you were mocking religious clothing. What was going through your head as he was saying it? And, you know, the leader of the government in the Senate is being, well, close to tears.
He was close to tears. I was just amazed how emotional George Brandis got over this whole issue. The whole fact is that I wasn't mocking a religion. I don't mock religions. People actually are entitled to have their own religion. But what it is, I am actually proving a point here. There was no security checks. We are, people are confronted by people in wearing the burqa. Also, Paul, what I said in my speech, and I did a speech this afternoon after this about the burqa, because it led into my senator's statements about burning the burqa. We have countries around the world, Malaysia, Tunisia, Congo, Egypt, that have actually banned the burqa. These are predominantly dominating Muslim countries. Then we have so many other countries around the world, other countries, non-Muslim, Germany, France, Italy, Switzerland, Netherlands, you name it, they've banned the burqa. Why? Because they see it as a security risk, and also it stops social cohesion. Now that's a very important part. We've got to learn from these other countries and don't let it go too late before we address the problem. There's another thing here, Paul, that no one is really addressing. A lot of these Muslim women are actually forced to wear the burqa by their husbands, by their brothers, by their fathers, by their uncles, because they want to control and the women must be submissive. That's not what Australia's about. Maybe a lot of these women, have you asked these women, do they want to break the shackles of being told you must wear this? If we actually brought in laws and said, ban the burqa, they may be saying, thank you for liberating us. Where are the feminists? Where are they? We don't hear from them. You know, there is many issues to this whole topic. But everyone wants to shut it down because I'll tell you why, Paul. We've got such a population of Muslims in this country, 750,000, 15 lower house seats that are dominated and controlled by the Labor Party. It's all come down to now the vote. So we're appeasing the minorities and we're forgetting about what the majorities want. So let's have a debate on this. Let's find out the real answers.
So as we speak, there's a lot of attention on this, obviously in Australia, on this conversation now, and it's playing even internationally at the moment. You know that you're top of many news sites over in places like the United States. For those that are new to the debate, new to Pauline Hanson, or they're watching here, what do you want people to take out of why you did what you did today?
I want people to take out of this that I am an Australian that has not lost my voice due to political correctness and pressure from minority groups that have come here. A lot of people have moved here for our culture, our way of life, which is so precious to all of us. If we are submissive in being suppressed by others and their views, we have lost what is so unique to us as Australians and our democracy. I am very fortunate to hold a seat in Parliament. I raised these issues prior to my election. I got elected by many people in Queensland due to my views with this issue. I'm going to be true to myself and true to the people who elected me to stand strong on these issues that I oppose, and I want a common sense back on the floor of Parliament. I'm sick and tired of these gutless politicians who behind the scenes agree with what I'm saying, but due to political correctness and purely on the vote, that are actually going to change our country. And I hope that future generations don't look back on this and say, why didn't you do something about it? I will walk away from this place and say, I've done the best that I possibly could in standing up on my principles, my morals and what I believe in. And if they can't do it, well, pity them.
Senator Hanson, I appreciate the conversation this evening, and also the beginning of a conversation about it as a symbol, and your actions today are the symbol of the start of that conversation, one that we'll be having for some time to come. Thank you so much for chatting to us tonight, Pauline.
Paul, I think, Paul, just one last comment. Let me make this quite clear. There is nothing in the Quran that states that the burqa is a religious garment. It is not a religious requirement. It is imposed on women by men. Let's make that quite clear.
Yep, I agree. And because, of course, men can't control themselves if they see the uncovered meat, as Sheikh Halali said all of those years ago as the Grand Mufti of Australia. Right. Thank you very much, Senator. We'll talk to you again very soon. Pauline Hanson there in Canberra, leader of One Nation.